and it's not at all a thing that we are misusing Regulation 9. Regulation 9 is there to protect, if you take Fiji, their players play all over the world. So if the Fijians who play the different rich clubs in France and England and so on, if their players doesn't get released from national duty, Fiji won't be a competitive nation and won't be able to go to a World Cup, because if their clubs stop paying them when they go to the World Cup, they won't have a competitive team at the World Cup. So Regulation 9 is there to make sure that all countries can compete and stay relevant on the world scene. And unfortunately, with our exchange rate, we're one of those countries now. So Regulation 9 is there also to protect South Africa. So the clear guidelines of Regulation 9 is pretty simple. There's windows where you can play test match rugby. Obviously that's at this stage 12, but then there's also 12 weeks, and there's obviously windows where you can have camps, like 3-day camps, mid-season, or and all that we did now is actually said, guys, up until now we've been give and take, because there's personalities in his lives and his families on the other side. Faf is playing for Sale. We didn't pick him 2-3 years ago. He left. He thought he was done. Now we're selecting him all of a sudden. You don't want to upset his relationship with his club owner. But we're being proactive now and saying, listen, from 2020, we're giving you time now. We're telling you guys, from 2020 we're going to enforce Regulation 9, because we've made a decision now. We can't bat at that level. We can't pay people at that level. And so just know now, from 2020 we're going to do that. That gives the club who signs the player time to consider, will it be worth me signing that player? That will give the player time to say, listen, do I want to go there? Do I actually want to retire from international rugby? Do I actually pick money now where I am in my career above playing for the Springboks? Some players might be there in their career. So it's actually just being proactive and saying from 2020 we're going to do that. Where we don't all of a sudden now tell a club, we've been doing it like that, now we're going to enforce it. We're just being proactive and warning. It's not playing hardball. It's just we've made a decision to do that.
And I would imagine you've got a few agents complaining to you, because I guess it would make some top South African players less attractive if they're going to only play 15 games for, say, a French club as opposed to 25 or 30, if you enforce Regulation 9 completely.
Look, we're definitely going to enforce Regulation 9, and that's why we're saying it's not a threat, it's just a reality. I'll tell you why also, because normally what happens, if I don't mind explaining this, because I think people should understand that, and the fans should understand that. So say a player's first choice in his position, and the other player's second choice in that same position. If the first choice player moves on and we stop selecting him, this player is second choice. Now all of a sudden South Africa start earning the money of that first choice player. And he's not yet there. He shouldn't be on that money yet, because he's still second choice. So currently, if you keep that guy overseas and you say he can come back, the player is still on the second choice salary, and that's how we can internally regulate our market, which is totally inflated now. I mean, we are currently paying in the league of French clubs. We are currently paying in the league of Premiership clubs. We're paying money for teams which we can't afford, and I think that's irresponsible. I think we can't afford it, and we're actually giving players false hope and giving them crazy money for where they're not yet. In the same instance, you also don't want to incentivize players to leave. People might say you're incentivizing players to leave. No, we're not. You're still going to have the player here more available, having him in alignment camp. So the guy on that side still have to perform, still have to play well, and at the end of the day, then he will only get to be picked for South Africa.
And last one from me on this, just how do you police it? For instance, I know in football, often when it's international week, suddenly a player's got a groin strain or a hamstring, and he's not released. Now, how would you sort of police that kind of thing doesn't start happening when the French club says, oh no, player X is pulled his groin, and then 2 weeks later he's fine to play club rugby again? How are you going to monitor that?
Well, the only thing is he can't also then play for his club, because he's got an injury then, So if you've got an injury, then he also can't play for his club. So, then whenever he's fit again, you never just call a player up for a week. It's either for the rugby championships or for the June test matches or for the end of year tour. So if a player gets injured, then he must be injured for 3 weeks. So you can call him up and say he's got a groin injury or whatever. The next week he can't play for his club still, because then you can still draft him in. So I guess listen, if people want to really misuse the system or lie about it, but that's where the player must come to the fore, and that's almost to me like a natural filtering system. Who's really desperate to play for South Africa still? If a player is going to be part of that and buy into that, then you actually know this player doesn't really want to play for South Africa, then you just don't pick him, and I guess some players will have to make that call, where are they in their career? Because I think the fans out there would want the guys to play South Africa, who's keen and want to play for South Africa. And, I guess that will be a natural selection filter to call it that.